Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live like a Navy SEAL for an entire month? Not just for a day, not just to test your willpower for a weekend, but for 30 long days where every second of your life feels like a battle against weakness. I didn't just wonder, I actually did it. And what happened over those 30 days changed me in ways I never thought possible. But before you think this is just another fitness challenge, let me tell you, this was nothing like that. This was a war inside my own mind, and I'm about to take you through it. Day by day, breakdown by breakdown, victory by victory. Trust me, by the end of this story, you'll never look at your own comfort zone the same way again. It all started on a random Tuesday morning. I was scrolling on my phone, wasting time, when I stumbled on a video of Navy SEALs doing their infamous Hell Week. Cold water, endless push-ups, zero sleep, and instructors screaming in their faces. My first thought, these guys are machines. My second thought, what if I tried to live like that? What if, for once, I stopped making excuses and actually pushed myself to the edge? That single thought lit a fire in me, and within hours, I made the decision. For 30 days, I would live like a Navy SEAL. No excuses, no shortcuts, and no backing out. Day 1 began at 4:30 a.m. That S right, the first rule of SEAL life. Wake up when it's still pitch black outside. My alarm went off, and every part of me wanted to smash that snooze button. But I remembered something I had heard in a Navy SEAL interview. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. What I wanted most was transformation. So I dragged myself out of bed, threw water on my face, and hit the ground for my first workout. Hundreds of push-ups, sit-ups, and squats before the sun even rose. By the end of that session, I was lying on the floor, drenched in sweat, lungs burning. And that was only day 1. By day 3, I already felt broken. My muscles were screaming, my eyes heavy from lack of sleep, and I hadn't even gotten to the cold showers yet. That's another SEAL, staple embracing the cold. Every single morning and night, I forced myself under freezing water. The shock, the gasping for air, the brain begging me to step out, it was brutal. But that's the whole point. SEALs believe that growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in suffering. And so, every time that freezing water hit my skin, I told myself, this pain is your new classroom. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about living like a Navy SEAL. It's not the workouts that destroy you, it's the silence afterward. When you're alone with your thoughts, when your body hurts so badly, and your mind starts whispering, quit. Nobody's watching. Nobody will know. Those whispers hit me hardest around day 7. That was my breaking point. I woke up that morning and every cell in my body screamed at me not to move. My legs felt like concrete, my arms like rubber bands ready to snap. And for a split second, I considered ending the challenge right there. But then I remembered something I had read. SEALs have a 40% rule. When your mind tells you you're done, you're really only 40% done. You still have 60% left in the tank. That single thought kept me going. Week 2 was where things shifted. My body still hurt, but something strange began to happen. My mind was getting sharper. I was moving with discipline I never thought I had. Wake up, work out, cold shower, clean eating, journaling my progress. No distractions, no scrolling endlessly on social media, no giving in to cravings. I realized Navy SEAL life isn't just about being tough, it's about structure, about removing the unnecessary and focusing on what actually matters. I was becoming calmer, more focused, and weirdly, happier. But don't get me wrong, it was far from easy. By day 15, halfway through, I hit another wall. This time, not physical, but emotional. I was sitting on my floor after a grueling workout, and I felt this wave of doubt crash over me. What was the point? I wasn't training for war. I wasn't preparing for combat. Why was I putting myself through this? And then it hit me, this wasn't about becoming a soldier. This was about becoming the kind of person who doesn't quit, the kind of person who can stare discomfort in the face and keep moving forward. And in that moment, I realized this 30-day journey wasn't just changing my body, it was rewiring my identity. From that point forward, everything got deeper. The cold showers didn't feel like torture anymore. They felt like training for life's chaos. The 4:30 a.m. wake-ups weren't punishment. They were proof I could do hard things before most of the world even opened their eyes. The workouts weren't about building muscle, they were about building grit. Every single task became a metaphor. push-ups weren't just push-ups. They were reminders that I could push through resistance. Running in the rain wasn't just cardio, it was learning to thrive in discomfort. By day 20, I noticed something wild. People around me started to notice the change. Friends said I looked sharper. My energy was different. My conversations were deeper. Even small things like standing straighter, speaking with more conviction, and not wasting time on nonsense, it all started showing. And it wasn't because I suddenly got stronger. It was because my mind was finally in control of my body, not the other way around. But then came day 25, the hardest of them all. You'd think after 3 weeks I'd be coasting, right? Wrong, my body was exhausted. My knees ached from running, my shoulders from endless push-ups. That morning, I went for my usual run, and halfway through, my legs literally gave out. I stumbled, almost fell on the sidewalk. My body just said, no more. And for the first time, I questioned whether I would actually finish. That night, I sat in my room staring at the wall, debating if I should stop. And then I remembered a phrase SEALs live by. The only easy day was yesterday. In other words, if you're alive today, if you're breathing, then today is your chance to fight. That line burned in my brain, and so I pushed through. Finally, day 30 arrived. I woke up before my alarm, as if my body already knew what time it was. I went for a run as the sun rose, and something incredible happened. I didn't feel pain. I felt gratitude. Gratitude for the struggle, for the discipline, for the suffering that had reshaped me. I realized that Navy SEALs don't just train for war, they train for life. They train to be unshakable when everything around them falls apart. And after 30 days, I felt like I had just unlocked a small fraction of that mindset. So what happened after I lived like a Navy SEAL for 30 days? My body got stronger. Sure, I lost fat, built muscle, and improved my stamina. But the real transformation was invisible. I learned that we are capable of so much more than we think. That comfort is the enemy of growth, that discipline is freedom, and most importantly, that the mind quits long before the body does. Now here's the part you need to hear. You don't have to train like a Navy SEAL for 30 days to change your life. You don't need to do thousands of push-ups or freeze under cold water every night, but you do need to challenge yourself. You do need to push past your comfort zone, because on the other side of pain, on the other side of discomfort, that's where your potential is waiting. And if you take nothing else from this story, remember this: you are stronger than you think. You have more in you than you realize. The question is, will you tap into it? Or will you let comfort steal your greatness? I lived like a Navy SEAL for 30 days, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done. But it also gave me the greatest gift of all, the realization that pain is not the enemy. Quitting is. And as long as you refuse to quit, you'll never truly lose. So the next time your alarm goes off, and you Dan T want to get out of bed, the next time life throws a storm at you, remember what the SEALs say. The only easy day was yesterday.